Hi, I'm Rick Dancer. Throughout the videos you've just watched, we've explained the potential problem with the dams on the Willamette River. We've shown you how a dam operates. By now you understand, without a fully reliable system of dams on the Willamette River, that there's a chance that some flooding is possible. So what are you supposed to do about it? Experts say you should take this increased risk of flooding and all risk of flooding seriously, especially if you live in a flood-prone area.
Could be the road.
For those folks representing either the Willamette Valley projects or...
To get the word out, the Army Corps of Engineers hosted meetings around the valley to explain the potential problems.
My property and my livelihood, where I live, I want to protect it as much as I can.
I want to know what I can do.
It's your responsibility to understand your risk.
To understand their own risk, to understand where their house is in relation to the river, in relation to the floodplain. Our responsibility right here and now is to effect change, to repair these facilities, to get them operational so we can buy down that little bit of risk that we're exposed to right now.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency says now is the time for you to do your homework and know your personal responsibilities, to know if you live in a flood-prone area and to be prepared.
Anytime the word dam is mentioned, flood becomes a big concern.
Here are a couple of recommended websites that are easy to use and can help you find out if you live in an area that can flood and what to know if considering flood insurance. When it comes to flood insurance, FEMA says the easiest thing to do is contact your insurance agent.
Your primary contact for flood insurance is going to be your local flood insurance agent. They're the ones that are authorized to sell it.
Lane County Emergency Management Director Linda Cook says you need to understand your property.
The first thing I advise people is to know their flood risk, and there's a lot of different ways people can go about determining that.
Your neighbors are a great resource too. Cook says do the research, ask the questions, and take action now.
Go ask your neighbors, well, what's it like around here in the wintertime? Do the waters come up near the property? What happens at your house? What have you seen happen on this property? Get to know the local knowledge, the local historical knowledge about your area, and then put that to good use. Take precautions.
The key to this is get organized with your neighbors now. You don't want to wait for rising water to have a plan. Hold a meeting now to talk about what to do, who needs extra help, and how to prepare. Sandbag classes are used to show property owners easier ways to get prepared ahead of time. Your local emergency management personnel can tell you when these classes are available.
Most people have a hunch that they should probably be prepared with sandbags because some properties are much more prone to flooding than others.
Cook says low-lying neighborhoods might want to stock up now, just to be prepared. Also, have 7 days worth of food and water on hand. Cook says that's just a good thing to do in case of any emergency, not just a flood.
It's really taking responsibility for your property, recognizing where the weaknesses are and dealing with them.
Cook says being prepared means being aware, watching, and monitoring the weather during storms.
If people live near a river, they can go to the National Weather Service's website and monitor the river conditions on that particular river that they're concerned about. And as they start to see that river reach flood stage, then they can be taking action on their own.
Cook says one of her favorite sites to monitor is the Army Corps of Engineers. Teacup-type graphics show you how much water is in the reservoirs behind the dams and a snapshot of the remaining storage capacity. But don't forget that there's a lot of water coming from uncontrolled rivers and streams. There are many things to consider when learning about possible threats to your property. The Willamette Valley dams are so important to the social and economic livelihood of the entire valley, from Cottage Grove to Portland.
In the last 40 to 70 years, we've reduced flood damages by over $20 billion.
At 8 of the 13 dams, much-needed electricity is generated. In more recent years, the system has been managed for recreational, irrigation, and environmental purposes as well. But the original purpose...
The system was created for flood risk management. It was to take the peaks off of the high-flow events in the wintertime when it rains a lot.
So what should you take away from this? The Army Corps of Engineers Dam Safety Program works. The Corps discovered a potential problem with the spillway gates and is working to repair them. But it could take years to finish the job. The Army Corps of Engineers' job is to reduce the damage from flooding. It cannot control flooding. Dam operators must consider the water behind the dams, the water flowing into the system from uncontrolled streams, and keep an eye on the forecast. Until the Corps completes the repairs, while this slightly increased risk of flooding exists, the responsibility to protect your property is in your hands. There are numerous resources out there to help you, but preparation is the key. Understanding your property's vulnerabilities and taking action now is your best defense. Don't wait for someone else to do your job. Here are some websites that can help you. Emergency management expert Linda Cook put it this way: every year is a good year to prepare for a flood. If there's something you need to do to protect yourself and your property, do it now. Don't put it off, because you never know.